Hey, what's going on, friends? Welcome back to another episode of Josh's Review Corner. On this episode, we're going to be reviewing Not Klyde's album, I Love NK. Not Klyde, Christian hip-hop artist reigning from Canada, the great lands of Canada. And this is his first album that he's dropping in 2 years, ever since Hello Kizzy and Company dropped, and his first, I think, official album since Mastery 7 back in 2021. And with that amount of time passing by, obviously, I Love NK is probably going to present to us some very new ideas. It's going to present us a progression in his artistry, and I'm here today to tell you if that's the case, and just in general what my thoughts are on the album. Firstly, I want to talk about the theme of this project. The theme, I went to Holy Smoke 2024 this year, and because I did, I got to hear it from the man himself what the theme was when he was doing his set. And it shed some new light on the album for me that I did not previously have. And he explained it like this. He said, there's a lot of people that say they love NK. But if you knew NK like I know NK, would you still love NK? And I mean, that is such a profound thought. Like, if we really knew who he was outside of what the public persona is, would we still love him? Same with us. That's a question we ask ourselves. Would they still love us? And ultimately, what the whole idea of him asking that question is supposed to do is it's supposed to point to Jesus, who unconditionally loves us and unconditionally loves Not Klyde. And so it's a pretty beautiful and amazing concept for the album. And when you get into some of these songs, you'll see different topics, like he'll talk about his wife. He'll talk about scripture, like on the song Velvet with 2 Kings 2. He'll talk about just like a whole host of other different topics. Evangelism he talks about with the BAPTIZE. And then he talks about, continues talking about his wife and just friends. And I mean, there's really a whole host of topics that he talks about. But the central theme is that one that I just mentioned at the very beginning. So let's talk about my favorites. I'm going to go through a couple of tracks because I do have quite a few favorites on this, and I'm just going to pick out my most favorite, the tracks I love the most. Starting with the title track and the song that kicks us off into the album, I Love NK. And with this, we have the producer of the album, he produced every song except the last one, Justin Lane, providing us the sonic soundscape of this album. And what you'll notice from this track onward is that there's a lot of sonic continuity in the sense that a lot of these songs have very similar production techniques and sounds in them. It's very spacey, very ambient, very sparkly, very synth heavy. You have some songs that have some strings on there, but it all plays into this very atmospheric vibe that the album is trying to present with some very deep messaging from Not Klyde. And I Love NK is the amalgamation of all of that. It is very spacey. You have a wonderful melody from him. They don't know me. I love that melody. Absolutely love that melody. And then I love the way it transitions into the rapping part from him. And so this song to kick off the album, just a great opener for the project. And then you have it transition into probably one of my favorite songs from the project, Velvet. Like I said, it really atmospheric, really bright, really flashy song with these little cool, like almost, I don't know if anybody listened to this guy, but back when I used to listen to secular rap, there was a rapper called Young Lean that I used to listen to. And Young Lean had this very similar style of production. And so I don't know if Justin Lane was inspired by that potentially, but he might have been. And I think a song like Velvet just does like that sound so perfectly. And I think that sound fits Not Klyde's aesthetic really well. Because the thing about Not Klyde that is so unique about him is that his style is one of one. There is not a single Christian rapper that, and quite frankly, rapper in general, that can flow like he does, or that does flow like he does, I mean, you go listen to the song "Hoolies in Paris" off of the group he's a part of, self-titled project Heaven on Earth, and who on earth would hear that beat and rap like that? I could not think of a single person except him. And so you have Velvet with just wonderful melodies, wonderful messaging. Oh my goodness, it's probably one of my favorite messages on the entire album. It's my favorite writing on the entire album on this song, Velvet. Just beautiful writing. And then, like I said, the production is top notch. Then you have the song "Baptize" featuring Aaron Cole. Love Aaron Cole's feature. Love the chorus, and just love the fact that, hey, this is what it's all about. We're not here to, like, the Great Commission that we've been given is not to perform. No, it's to baptize. It's to go and make disciples. That's what we've been called to do. And so I just really love the heart behind this. And if you know, I'm a whole pastor is popping regardless. Sorry, but that's from the song "Answer My Pants." And if you pay attention to not Klyde, he is a pastor, and part of pastoring is shepherding. And so you get a big feel for his pastor heart here with the song "Baptize." Another song I want to point out as a favorite is the song "Pay Respects." I just love that refrain. I can't remember it right now, but the ocean line and the way he sings the melody with that ocean line is just like such a standout vocal and lyrical moment from the album. And then the production is really good because on the other songs you have not Klyde in kind of a higher register of his voice, but then on this one he takes it very low. I'm in a boat, John Sweat. Right? I mean, that is just an excellent song on the project for "Pay Respects." And then also the song "Time Spent" that came before this was another favorite of mine. Love Big Breeze's verse, love the production, love the strings on that, the little plucky strings that going on there in the production from Justin Lane. A song I really want to point out that initially I've listened to this project so many times, so many times since it came out back in January. And this song, "Regeneration," initially was not one of my favorites. But I want to give a shout out to Mitch Darrell. Why did I say Darrell? DJ Darrell, that's not the same person, brother. But Mitch Darrell. Mitch Darrell had whenever he was listening to this song, pointed out something in the production mold of it. And when he pointed it out, I don't know why, but it just added so much more perspective to my ears for listening to that song. And it has just enhanced that song tenfold for me. And so "Regeneration" is one of my favorite. And then also that flow that he does, like I said, that one-of-a-kind, not Klyde flow, just so excellent. And you could say he's inspired by Ski Mask the Slump God or somebody like that. But quite frankly, to me, not Klyde is very unique. I don't think he does, like, what he does is one-to-one to that. I think you could say he has inspiration, but he's his own artist, right? And it's just excellent hearing that flow on "Regeneration." And then you have the song "I Don't Like," and I love this song where it's at in the track listing, because up until this point we've been hearing banger after banger. We've been hearing trap beat after trap beat. And our ears are kind of starting to get fatigued at this point. At least my ears are starting to get fatigued at this point. And then "I Don't Like" comes in with a very melodic song. And even though the beat is very trappy, the song is almost exclusively melodic and more based around singing than rapping. And it just adds a nice mix-up to the album's track listing. And then that transitions into the next song, "Not Drive," featuring Alana Adon, which, by the way, I was today years old when I found out that Alana Adon's name is not actually Alana Adon. I don't know if anybody in there knew that. If you did, please put that in the comments. I definitely did not know that. But still, Alana Adon is known for delivering bar-heavy verses, and he does that. I love the "messy" line. Just a great performance from him. And then the hook is just classic not Klyde. It's super funny. It's well sung. It's well performed. Just a lot to like about the song "Not Drive." Another favorite of mine, a song that I initially also didn't like, was the song "Grew." But after going back and just thinking about this song, I love the writing. I think the writing's really clever with the whole minions and playing around the how that word sounds, and then also diving into that to the minions thing. lyrically. Obviously, Guru is from Despicable Me, but I just love how he stays on topic there. And then 350's verse on the second half, his brother from the Heaven on Earth Collective just coming through with a wonderful performance, a wonderful verse on the second half of this song. And it adds a lot because, yes, this beat is not there's not too much going on with the beat. It's very trappy. It's already something we've heard in the project. But to add a verse here, I think adds some spice to the album. And with such a good verse like 350 here, definitely provides some spice to the album. And then the last song I want to point out as a favorite is the song AFRESH. Now, I had the pleasure of getting to listen to him perform this at Holy Smoke. And when he performed it at Holy Smoke, he performed it as a worship song. And that provided a whole new lens for how I experienced this song. And this song is probably my favorite song from the entire project. I love, first off, you have a different producer on this. If the previous 13 tracks were all produced by Justin Lane, but Eli Williams comes into the fold on AFRESH and provides a switch up in the beat. Honestly, what AFRESH sounded like, one of the last albums I listened to when I used to listen to secular music was, or secular rap, was Donda. It was that beat almost sounded very similar to that song that has The Weeknd on it on Donda. I forget what the name of that song was, but that beat was very, like, it gave me big vibes of that beat, but it's so different. He does it. The way he approaches this instrumental is just so different, and it's better for the project. And then obviously, not Klyde's performance, not Klyde's singing, excellent. The melodies are tight. The melodies are great. Just so much to love about this song AFRESH, and it's a great closer for the project. And those are my favorites. Now, as for my least favorite song on the project, I would say my least favorite is the song Provide. And I think, going back to what I was saying earlier, because there's one producer for the majority of this project, there is a lot of sonic continuity, and a lot of the songs sound very similar, and except that some are incorporating just a little slightly different elements. And when you get to a song like Provide, even though it does have a feature with De La Cruz, and I think De La Cruz does a great job here, the beat is just so, I don't know, to me, it's just it's a very run-of-the-mill trap beat, and it doesn't really add much for me as a listener. And so even though I like the features, even though I like Not Klyde's performance, I think maybe this beat could have been done differently, or maybe this song could have been left off. I don't know. Obviously, I love the messaging of the song, but for me, I would just say it's probably my least favorite song on the album. Now, to answer the question that some of you might be asking is this gospel-centered? And without a question, this album is gospel-centered. In fact, this might be one of the most gospel-centered albums of the entire year. I love the fact that he incorporates scripture on songs like Velvet, but I really love, and I mentioned it earlier, I really love the fact that his pastor's heart and his heart for people is on full display with this album, and how much he cares for evangelizing, and how he understands that, hey, my mission is not to just be, performing out here, making money, just rocking the craziest clothes, even though he is the sommelier of sauce, right? When it comes to clothing and jewelry, I mean, that's not the main thing. The main thing is I'm here to baptize. I'm here to make disciples. I'm here to fulfill the Great Commission of Matthew 28. That's what I'm here to do. And so I just really, really respect Not Klyde for sticking to the gospel on this project and making such a great gospel-centered album. Just amazing job here. And so, yes, this is a gospel-centered album. Now for my final score. I had to think about it. I've listened to this album so many times since it came out in January. I've listened to it in so many different settings. And I think I can safely say I would give this album a 7 out of 10. I think I love this direction that Not Klyde is going in. I think Not Klyde should definitely continue exploring this atmospheric sound, continue building upon his repertoire as a singer and his ability to make melodies, because his pen game is always going to be there, and his just creativity when it comes to flows is always going to be there. And so if he explores some of these other ideas, and also maybe going forward on his next project, if he incorporates more producers to break up some of the monotony of a project like this, because this project checks in at 38 minutes long. That's not long at all. But if you have the same sound, it can make it feel a lot longer than it actually is. And check out Gavi's album. Gavi's album from this year is 51 minutes long. It does not feel 51 minutes long. And so I think maybe if Not Klyde starts incorporating some different producers into the mix here, I think he has a masterpiece in the making here. He has all, and mind you, there's a lot of people who would say this is probably Not Klyde's best album. I would be one of them. This is definitely, for me, Not Klyde's best album, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Not Klyde is going to be doing in the future. The only thing that really, really disappoints me about Not Klyde, and Not Klyde, you really disappointed me, man. Brother, where is the vinyl for this project? I need it. I need that in my life. I want a vinyl for this project so bad. I really want a vinyl. I kept waiting to hear an announcement about something like that, but I never saw it come through. And so I don't know if you're thinking about making a vinyl, but if you are Not Klyde, please do. I would buy it up so fast if you made a vinyl for this project, and I know so many others that would too. And so obviously that's just a joke, but I really do want a vinyl, and I think that'd be great. But that's all I have for this album, guys. You guys in the comment section below, let me know what your favorite song was. Maybe Provide was your favorite song. If it was, please let me know why. And then also, what would you give this album? Was this your favorite Not Klyde album, or were you a fan of Thrash Life, or were you a fan of Mastery 7, or even some of the older cuts from 2019? You let me know down in the comment section below, guys. You guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.